What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't have any interest in like milking this for content or anything like that. I pretty much said whatever I had to say to Bo Blacks in that like email, and that's just pretty much it. He would give you like mixed messages, like when he communicated with you and stuff. And I got a lot of that like the last month or so of our friendship as well. I guess it just kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it was nice that people at least saw what I saw at the end, if that makes sense. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean, like I'm not like happy about this per se. Like it seems like he's, I don't know, maybe he's going through some or whatever, and I hope he gets his shit sorted out, but I don't know. It just seems like his dishonesty caught up with him.
Are you guys familiar with Tipster's return arc, chat? Have you seen him obliterate everybody? That's the first thing I want to go over, because I feel like everyone's kind of all getting a little nervous there. What are they going to do? What's happening with that? So I figured I would quell your fears. I don't think that's how you use that word, but I'm going to. How's everybody doing? I'm getting way ahead of myself. So this tweet from Bo Blacks right here, not really relevant to the segment, but it was him talking about how he's cool with Tom. He put out like Twitter versus Tom and Pyrocynical today. He was coming out anyway, but it was placed ahead of the pack because of the recent Tom video on him that he wrote like a nice message to Tom saying he like understood where Tom was coming from and stuff. People obviously aren't happy about it. He's getting obliterated in his comment section. I've been banned. You can't even write Nick DeOrio on his channel anymore, just to be clear. If you go to Bo Blacks' channel right now, and you look for any of my comments, they're all gone. If you type my name, they've all been deleted. There was a point today where if you'd gone and looked at his channel, you would see he was actively removing my posts because he was sitting there and watching it. He was stun locked for like 2 consecutive hours. And every time one person would send a nice comment, they were few and far between, he'd heart it while everyone else was just obliterating him. There was tons of hate on there. He's not deleting all criticism, but he definitely was deleting me in real time, so that was fun. But yeah, that's where we are with Bo Blacks now, if you're wondering. And then this Tipster tweet is in response to that. One of the reasons why you're in the current mess that you're in, let me just quickly, yeah, this is a good song for him. Cool. Okay. I could just use AI for this, but I'm not gonna. One of the reasons that you're in the current mess you're in is because of your inability to be honest and just tell people exactly how you feel. Several people you've engaged with have experienced this type of fence-sitting, mixed messages from you, Nicholas DeOrio, Tommy C, and Alex Gekmo, along with myself. Quit the doublespeak bullshit, just be honest about your feelings, because you saying you're not mad about Tom's video on you is pure, concentrated cope, and everyone knows it. Stop being a fucking beta, and admit that it pissed you off to the point that it led you to upload that petty compilation video about Tom's old drama as a failed attempt and a weak jab, or just shut the fuck up and say nothing at all. Either response would have been far better and more respectable than whatever the fuck this is. Let's be honest here. It's just another W. Tipster's been collecting tons of W's, and a lot of people are saying they're nervous. They're gonna let Tipster back into the club. The friendship with Tipster is gonna be rekindled. I've been doing this my whole fucking career. Whether I like somebody or I don't like somebody, when they're in the right, I will point that out. And I'm definitely doing that here. There's no friendship rekindlement with Tipster. He'll tell you just the same. There's no rewriting history. I'm not going to remove any videos or sweep up for him. But he's 100% right here. And I'd be pointing this out even if I wasn't actively fighting with Bo Blacks. Is that because he's following us and he's repeating our talking points? There's genuinely a possibility of that. It's definitely helped him in the past. But in this instance, this is the person that Bo Blacks has dedicated the last calendar year of his life to A-logging. And it is somebody who has completely traded places with him. 100%. Where Tipster was in January, Josh is right now. And where Josh was in January, Tipster is, but with an asterisk next to his name, because he's not streaming daily on every single thing that Josh does. But that's part of Josh's problem. He doesn't want to be covered like this. And Tipster didn't either, so he's not doing it to Josh. And that shows a lot of restraint, I would say. Tipster ends up getting grilled by Tommy C, and that's why we're here today. We're going to be watching this. We're going to get some Tipster content out of this whole situation. But I do think it's important to highlight that he's correct here. 100% correct here in almost every single thing he's posted. And it is a major hypocrisy point for Josh because of the way that Josh has treated him. There are so many aspects of this situation that are pure projection. We showed it in my last VOD, right? Specifically the tweet about Tipster being pansexual. Boblack says that he talks to his non-binary crew, his support group at home, and they tell him that the people who are pansexual, those are the fakers. Newsflash, Josh. More people disregard non-binary than they do pansexual. It's the new bisexual, okay? Remember everyone used to just disregard bisexual people and call them gay like 5-10 years ago? There is a huge stigma against non-binary people. And you would know that because you exercised it with pan people, okay? Just to be clear, like you're fully aware of this. Right? Like, there's no way you don't know that people do this all the time. Okay? So you're sitting here talking about how Tipster is like a fake LGBTQ ally while you're going out, and this is partially while he's out at the same time, and telling people about your gender identity when you've you've just stopped washing your hair and grew it longer. Okay? Like, I don't really know what you're expecting. You should have known. Why? Why should I have known? I'm super curious. What are you talking about? So yeah, I think that's it's a really funny one because he attacks Tipster's gender identity while living the current life that he's living, not realizing that the second that he pulled this stunt, he would be getting it the exact same, all the same. Gay on gay crime, yeah. Let's check out Tipster calling into Tommy's stream. I've heard this is good. I've heard he was grilled.
First time that happened, by the way. All right, we got.
It was just a deadpan where you said wrong wife and then just hung up without saying bye.
I think he comes in here.
Time.
Better than you. Stay streaming. How are you?
There we go. By the way, Tommy's a little drunk.
Good, Tommy. How are you? It's been a long time.
Better than you, motherfucker.
No, what's good? Happy birthday, man.
Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate the donation, but this is not going to be an easy call for you. I'm going to tell you right now.
No, that's fine. I'm here to take my lumps. I'm here to take my lumps.
Why? My question for Tipster is, why? Why is he here to take his lumps now? I don't know. I'd be down to talk to him if he wants, but I don't know if it would be more productive or less productive than this.
Well, here's the thing, Tips. And I'll get into the deeper stuff later. I don't understand. And this is more of a question than a criticism. I don't understand. I get being worn, and I think this is what happened to you. I get being worn down by the commentary community. I get being worn down by the fucking pedo shit and all that other fucking horse shit. I get that you're trying to explain some nuance and something you believe, and then you get turned into a pedo and stuff like that. By the way, I was never one of those fucking guys. I get the frustration. What I don't get, and you got a fucking second chance after you fucked over me.
Oh, come on. Bro, YouTube is so shit on fucking Chrome. I'm swapping over. And then Edge is like, dude, I want to be your browser.
You're fucking the rest of those guys over. That's what I don't understand. I don't understand that.
No, honestly, Nick kind of pointed that out on Twitter. I think it was yes.
Yeah, I'll pull this up after. But 228.42. Good. Give me 228.42. 228. I have to figure out what's wrong. Maybe I have to uninstall Chrome.
Being worn down by the fucking pedo shit and all that other fucking horse shit. I get that you're trying to explain some nuance and something you believe, and then you get turned into a pedo and stuff like that. By the way, I was never one of those fucking guys. I get the frustration. What I don't get, and you got a fucking second chance after you fucked over me. You fucking the rest of those guys over. That's what I don't understand.
What he's talking about here is that during this whole Tipster leaving arc, we're talking about the Is This Image Lolly video. I made a Twitter thread that's still, I believe, available, where I was highly critical of that, even at release. This wasn't a post-talk rationalization or a post-Tipster drama thing. This was immediate. And he'd reached out to me unprompted to tell me that he wasn't mad at me, Tommy, Augie, or Boblax, and that we're homies and we're not the problem. then and only then, when he began a friendship with Keffels and claimed he'd left the community weeks earlier, all of a sudden it was that it's our community that we've fostered, we are the problem. And it's like, I felt like I was getting super fucked over here because for all intents and purposes, I was receiving positive reinforcement during this time. Like, he's post-talk rationalized it as me doing something wrong when he was directly messaging me, telling me that was not the case without me asking. So I thought that was a backstab, and that's why I went a lot harder on him. And that's why I spent a lot of time researching everything he'd ever said.
Don't understand that.
No, honestly, like Nick kind of pointed that out on Twitter. I think it was like yesterday. And I said something.
And again, before we get super into this, at the time, I did point that out to him recently, yes, but at the time, Tipster was talking and bragging about how I showed that on stream and it was a nothing burger. So this is not the first time Tipster's even heard this example. He's heard it multiple times by now.
I don't regret leaving the community. It was just time for me to move on to.
I don't. First of all, let me correct you. I'm going to correct you. You never left. You never left the community. You left your crew. The community you're still in. You're still a commentator, dude. That's the truth. Yeah, you are. That's the truth.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree.
He covered Dr. Disrespect like 2 weeks ago.
That, but
you're still doing drama.
He might have left it for a little while. He did delete all of his videos and switch to gaming. So I think at some point he's correct. But
you're still talking about the trending topics. You might be doing gaming and whatever the fuck you do. And I've always said your retro stuff is fucking top notch. I mean, that's one of the reasons I liked you when I mentioned 2016. But you never really left. Nobody leaves this shit. You left your crew. That's what bothered me. And it was my crew. You did me dirty, and then you did them dirty. I don't understand that. And I forgave you.
Yeah, well, like I was going to say is what I was telling Nick in a response on Twitter was something along the lines of...
He talked politics in the video. That's why he says it's not commentary. Well, realistically, that's just an excuse to get through the door. He knew exactly what he was doing.
I don't regret leaving, but I regret the way I left because I would have liked to leave where we were still on good terms or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I obviously. But
do you think that that's because did he want to leave when we were on good terms so it would be easier to transition? Because it obviously wasn't in hindsight. Or do you think that he just wanted to leave easier because he regrets the way things went? I gotta say, before this week, before everyone started praising him again, I can't imagine that that's the case.
Actually, dropped the ball on that tremendously.
You tried to connect them to the alt-right. How's that fucking possible? You're fucking Hispanic. They fucking took you in.
Oh my god!
Despite
Jesus,
me telling them not to. They literally took you in. Augie, Bowbacks. Fuck him now. I get that. Augie, Bowbacks, everybody, they took you in. The only reason, I've been meaning to say this to you for years, you contacted me in 2016, right before Baited, and we connected over a criticism of me working with Keemstar, right? Did I throw you away? Yeah. Did I fucking block you? Did I tell you to fuck off? No, I was like, all right, let's hear this. Let's check out your content. We both got the retro gaming thing in common. And then you eventually were able to get a platform. You got 100,000. I never got that. Basically through my connections and me fucking seeing how cool you are.
I can see his point of just wanting to be cool with everyone, not necessarily wanting to be back, but just on good terms with everyone. It's the timing that's suspect. Sure, it definitely is the timing that's suspect, but it doesn't seem like something Tipster ever wanted before. It seemed like Tipster was really happy to not have that. And now, all of a sudden, it's that position has changed because it's the exact opposite of wherever he stood on this issue the entire time.
You know that, right? I mean, I'm not saying you didn't do it yourself. I'm not saying you did, but all that is because you were upset with me going to Baited, even though it was nobody, had nothing going on.
This is old drama. Yeah, Tipster was pissed at Tommy for going to Baited. That was what created the bridge that I had to mend in 2019. That's really old.
Money, the whole nine. That's where it started.
Oh, no. To be clear, I never had a problem with you going to Baited. If anything, I was like, yo, get your bag. My thing was just at the time, I wasn't the biggest Keemstar fan.
Keemstar fan, yeah.
So my thing was just just be careful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're talking specifically,
All right.
about
Fair, in
me,
fairness,
that
yes, that was your position right there. That was
Yeah.
your position.
do what you
But
gotta
it
do to
started
get your
off.
bag. You got a
But the
family to feed and
reason,
stuff, but,
the
like,
reason we got into the
I can't tell if it's peaking because Tommy's like engorging his mic, or it's because I have it too loud. But Tipster's very quiet, and Tommy's the only one peaking.
is because you were critical, and then when we talked, it was like, yeah, look, get your bag. I get it. And I'm like, look, I think I remember something to the extent, something to the effect that I will stand up to him when I see fit. But I mean, I'm sure, that's pretty much what it was.
Oh my god, my
and
hair is
then
terrible.
you know the whole Ian Miles Chung thing happened, and you took full fucking advantage of that. Everybody embraced you. Fucking Augie embraced you. Bobax embraced you. Nick embraced you.
During the timeline where this is happening, by the way, none of these guys are friends. Like, Augie was a fan of Tommy and had watched the show. I was Tommy's co-host. I was newly a commentator for a couple of months. I hated Tipster, by the way, at this point. I did not like Tipster. I was I was going in news meetings talking about how much I could not stand Tipster. And it was very funny when Tommy finally started fighting with him because I felt vindicated. That's how much I didn't like Tipster at the time. And we all kind of got together for the I'm Alex thing. Tom hated me at this point. He went on Dead on Dave's stream saying that I was like a fucking total piece of shit. I didn't even know Willie yet. This is how far back we are.
And then 5 years later, okay, buddy, you're trying to
news meetings. Yeah, I was a news team member of Tommy. I got my start as a Shot from the Point co-host, like Matt Pitt or like Verse or Tobes, like a lot of the guys who went on there. I was a co-host for Tommy, so we would attend news meetings. I would upload videos for his Shot from the Point news channel. That's what I was doing. I never expected this to become a Nick DeOrio show thing. I always thought like, hey, I'm getting in at 21. I'm a little too late. I kind of missed my my time, but I can have a fun little role as like new Jeff Huffman after he leaves.
trapped him into some fucking anti-trans horse shit. I mean, what the fuck, dude? I don't get that.
Credit to Tipster, he's taken it.
Why? What did they do to you? You like me? Like my whole thing is right, Tips. Like I didn't.
Tom hated me. Yeah, because if you go back and watch my Keemstar video where I talk about the NCO and then the Keemstar doxing Destiny, just Destiny, not Destiny the streamer, that whole conflict, right, was me like fighting with Tom's friends at the time. I don't think that he's close to any of those people anymore. But a lot of the people who fucked up were friends with Tom. So he was mad at me for leaking DMs, but the DMs that I leaked... By the way, they told me I would never be trusted again in this community, that no one would ever talk to me after that, after being in YouTube for like 3 months, because I leaked the DMs where Keem was doxing somebody because he's anonymous, therefore he must be a pedophile. That was not justification that I agreed with, so I was very critical of it at the time. I think the video aged very well. It ended up being like in the content nuke years later. Keem's asked me to take it down on several occasions, like... but yeah, Tom hated me for that video, and he ultimately realized I was right later.
I didn't jump on the train. Like, I don't know why you blocked me, because I wasn't. I didn't do shit
It goes by Maury now. Just Destiny was his name at the time of upload, but it's Maury now.
to you on Twitter. My whole thing was, they got what they deserved because you showed your fucking true colors 5 years ago, and I just accepted it. And you've never apologized. I know you apologized to Nick, and you said you regretted what happened with the whole Ian Miles Chung thing, and because, like, you know, it's one thing liking tweets about my kid starving, right? If you're not my friend, it's another thing if I was cool with you and you're trying to suck up the Medicare's crew, not directly Medicare, but that whole crew. So when you fucking turned on them.
I was never trying to like suck up to that.
It looked like it. No, I think if we went back, I think if we went back.
No, never.
You put out a tweet prior to the Ian Miles Chung incident happening, publicly telling everybody you were distancing yourself from me. Right? Even though I didn't do anything other than go against Medicare. So that's a little tough to believe.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't recall that.
You were fucking sucking their ass. You were riding high. And that turned into a relationship with Augie, which turned into a fucking 100,000 subs in a plaque.
Jesus.
I was never anything but nice to you. And after you did me
Dude, Tommy's been thinking about this for fucking... This is like crazy, dude.
fucking dirty, and I figured out a way to survive it, I forgave you, even though you never came to me balls to bones and said, I am sorry. So why should I believe you? You didn't do shit to me on this whole Keffel thing. You didn't do a fucking thing to me. It was fucking Augie, Bobax, and Tipster you did it to, right? Bobax, even though he's a fucking shit, right?
Whose downfall's next? Willie Mac Show, Lyrics, Xylee, Chud, Nick, Smaggle, Tipster. So, I don't know, they're like... I'm friends with Augie and Tom. And Chud. I think Xylee's got her head on. I think that 2 years ago, I would have said Xylee. But I think she kind of realizes when to evade now. I think she got it. If she didn't, then she's in trouble. But I think at this point, she can turn off the camera and live a normal life. So I don't think that she has the gene. I think she can learn. And I think she did learn, so I don't think she's next. I don't think Smaggle is really a player. I think he's more like just a aesthetic around the show. If Smaggle started a YouTube channel, he'd be my bet, but I don't think he has any plans to do that. To be honest, I think that we've weaved out the retards, in my opinion. I think that from here on out, it should be smoother sales. Now, that could obviously be played back in a multitude of funny different ways if I'm wrong about that statement, but I do think we've kind of... All the weird pieces of shit are probably gone. All of the... all the weird pieces of shit are probably gone. I don't know. Me personally, I'm not doing this again. That was my last one. I'm retiring from... other people can handle it now. I'm not going to jump in and run the whole show again like I did with Josh. That's probably the last time I'm going to do that. I did that with Edwin. I did that with Flamenco. I did that with... I let Willie do that with John. I did that with John the second time. I did that with him, with Boblax very recently. Other people, I did that with Alberto, too. If all these people have so many problems with this stuff, they can, grow a spine and talk about it. That's kind of where I've decided to put my foot down. I half put my foot down last year. I'm going to be honest with you. The Josh stuff, after, the initial stream when I was really pissed off, began to fascinate me. Because I was just watching this guy implode in real time. And I was actually, interested in talking about it. This wasn't one of those weird ones the whole time where I was, feeling oh, this sucks. We're losing a new friend. I think the fact that Josh came out and acted like a pathological liar for, the next 2 weeks, the next 5 days, 2 weeks, fucking 3 weeks after all that stuff went down was fascinating. So I didn't really have a problem with it. But, again, I don't want to have to deal with this anymore. So I'm probably not going to put myself in that leading the charge role next time.
Right. He still didn't deserve that at the time. So why should I believe you now? And I'm saying that honestly, not trying to get you. I'm why should you believe that now?
No, I mean it's the same thing I told Nick or whatever. I own up the fact.
Dude, they gotta stop saying my name and then the word "or" immediately after. That should just be a banned term. Every single time, dude.
I definitely made mistakes over the course of the past year and a half.
You sound like Bobax.
But I don't expect.
Oh my God, Tommy, let him talk.
You sound like you realize you sound like Bobax right now, right? On Augie's show the other day.
What do you mean?
Because we saw Bobax and he was just yeah, you're right, I'm wrong, and what have you. He didn't forgive everybody. He doesn't.
But the difference between Boblax is I feel like Boblax was just trying to
damn it, I'm getting killed.
Find some way to save his own ass, and
I feel that's you, except growing
in this community.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure there's some truth in that. But I feel that's you, except you were trying to get into the community. What's the difference?
I what do you mean?
Well, I feel you fucked me over to get in good with any community that would take you in, and then just happened to be mine. Well, it's fucking ironic.
That's another thing that's worth pointing out, even if it sounds a little uncharitable. Cathals is gone. And that's what he latched onto. And a lot of the people who are left are either even smaller than him at this point. He's not really taken seriously in the political sector either. So, again, that's food for thought.
And I was never nice to you. You made a public tweet.
But I do not think he wants to come back and make content with us. I have gotten no inclination that he wants to kickstart some kind of friendship. I've understood very much the opposite of that.
Distancing yourself from me. You have never apologized for you, and I decided to forgive you. And then 5 years later, you're basically saying Nick, Augie, and even Bobax for that matter. He doesn't. are adjacent to fucking alt-right people? We worked with you. You know how careful we were. You know how we don't fucking like racist assholes. You knew that. You knew that about us. You were in. And I think what happened to you is you got sick of fucking.
And you know what? On top of all that, I didn't even mention this. You know what? Also, this drove me fucking crazy too. Tipster's calling out all this stuff with Bo Blacks, and I wonder what he'd say to me about it. But he's calling all this stuff about Bo Blacks in his post-talk rationalization, and he'll just go around and say like a bunch of shit about me that he even defended at the time, right? Like he's saying, you're doing this snaky behavior where you defend people in the past for something, and then you don't like them anymore, and then you just attack them. He did that with Zaptai, which pissed me off, right? Because I'm fighting with Michael Alberto. This guy went on Michael Alberto, Tipster's whole image aesthetic was becoming a new left-wing talking guru. And he hated me so much, he called into a fucking Nick Fuentes stands fucking stream to try to talk to me, and the whole chat was chanting like TTD back at him. And it was a really embarrassing fucking look for the both of them. One for Michael for platforming Tipster at that point, because he looked like a complete fucking moron. And then for Tipster to go on there with Michael, who's like a schizophrenic fucking Fuentes stan, who's like the exact opposite of everything he's trying to preach, and he's breaking bread with that guy to go after me. It was a total fuck up from every side of that situation. And then he starts going after me about the fucking Zaptai stuff. And he's like, ooh, Keffels, I've heard some new information or whatever. Like, fuck you, dude. You do that shit to me too. Everyone does this shit to me. It's the first thing everybody does when they're not friends with me anymore. You're like, ooh, I've heard some new information. Yeah, okay, buddy. Fuck off.
Get an optics check, just like Bobox. And you started to resent.
Do you have a VOD of you reacting to that? I think it's gone. I think the original VOD is gone, and I think my reaction was on Twitch, so it's gone. If anyone has it, though, I mean, I would love to tweet it out.
The people that were helping you. That's what I think, and you can respond now.
Alberto's looking different these days. He's kind of looking like Josh.
I don't know if I, maybe I'm misremembering something, but I don't know if I ever said all you guys were alt-right adjacent. I know that I was asked that question.
You better fucking hope that's not the case, because I don't got the shit in front of me, but they'll find it.
I know that I was asked that question specifically about Augie, and I said yes because of some of the people he associated with. But I don't think I ever said that about
not Nick.
Nick, for example.
Okay,
like once you kind of join the Tonka tribe, there's never a salvation. Like there's no part of that friendship that's ever being rectified if you kind of take that Josh plunge.
I can't hit you because I don't remember. I don't know, but I felt like it was a community thing. I didn't feel like it was just like Augie or Nick or what have you.
Because I do remember on what was it? It was the Michael Alberto stream. I was specifically asked that by Aiden about whether I thought that about Augie.
Dude, do you know that stream? I think the guest list was Aiden, Tipster, and Flamenco. That was the guest list of like the fuck Nick DeOrio stream. I had never had such an ego trip in my entire, because Aiden when it's like debate for me. That's how bad this stream was. Every single person who called in was retarded.
And I said, I think that he's alt-right adjacent because some of the people he engages with. But I don't think I ever said that, like, definitely not Nick, for example. Yeah. I don't have any reason to believe that.
Nick used to be right-wing and now he's left. I mean, you know that. You knew that at the time. That's half the reason we got in a fucking fight, because we couldn't put our fucking politics and act like fucking grown-ups. Both of us, by the way, not just me, not just him. I don't know, man. Like, my whole thing with the recent fucking Capitals thing, I don't really give a fuck what your sexuality is. I don't give a fuck who you support. I don't care if you're a leftist. I really don't. I don't. Right? But it's just, it felt like you were trying to get us through her because she was riding high. Actually, you kind of got her on the dip, to be honest with you. And, you know, as far as like trans stuff,
it's funny because he's not defending. I'm noticing now. Tommy said he didn't do it, but he's not defending Keffels at all right now.
Moved more towards the center as time went on. I just feel like you were trying to tie us up with somebody. I don't fucking hate trans people. I just don't want to say the fucking pronouns. I don't want to be told what to fucking do. And I think they feel the same way. Probably less Nick than any of them. And I think Nick fucking targeted you 4 years for a reason because you broke his fucking heart. All
right, that's a little much.
You broke his heart. So how? Like, I understand. Like, everything you said to Bobax is 100% legit. And by the way, I did retweet one of your tweets or said.
Yeah, for the record, you're saying Tommy's crazy. He's drunk too. He's like 10 beers deep. I don't think he's crazy, but I think he's drunk.
Or took a picture of it and said, you are everywhere. You have no reason to fucking take him in. He did you fucking dirty. He teased you for months.
If you want to argue that, like in a more reasonable perspective, where I felt like I helped him long enough to the point where like to be there and like get blamed for some of this stuff after I've literally guarded this guy for years. And it's the same thing with Josh to an extent, right? That's a frustration point for me, right? Like, I've helped these people a lot. All right. Augie, for example, is literally like made Flamenco able to like work. Like, Augie, like, you know how much money me and Augie have helped these people get that they wouldn't have been able to sustain on their own if they didn't just repeat everything we said? Do you have any idea how much money that Augie made Flamenco? He got Flamenco after he left the kill stream because the same guy who doxed me threatened to dox him, and he would have had the Boy Soprano drama about fucking 3 years sooner. All right, if he'd kept going on the trajectory he was going. Augie gave him a commentary audience, all right, talked him down, allowed him to adopt all of his fucking talking points that Flamenco would obviously throw in his face as soon as he's out of the community, and completely revert back to the original stuff he was talking about to begin with, right? He made this guy marketable. He then started to do this VTuber streaming thing. He was like a sustainable adult for the first time of his life, and that's all Augie. So, yeah.
You know, I didn't fucking have a problem with it when he was doing it, but I would have a problem with it if he tried to come back to you and unblocked you all of a sudden. I get why you think that's bullshit. How are you different than Bobax?
I mean, at the end of the day, if like that's your perception of me, I'm not here to change it. I just
why not? Why not?
That...
Like, why not? Why not? Don't give me a fucking political.
I wonder
line.
what Tipster thought he was calling into. Because this is Tommy's birthday stream. I have no idea what the plan was.
From the heart.
I mean, I don't even know what to say, to be honest.
Do you see me as just like we weren't real friends or something like that because it was on the internet and we never stood in front of each other and everybody's content?
No,
do you see it that way?
When we were friends, I genuinely did consider you a friend. To be honest, like even with like the recent stuff, I didn't have an issue with you personally.
You still blocked me. You still blocked me.
Well, I was just gonna say why. I didn't really want to engage with this like community all that much, obviously. And then what upset me personally was when you used the fact that you had me as a friend on Discord to drag me into a call on Lolcal Live. And admittedly, it's a stupid thing.
Did you hold on a second? I'll give you. Did you block me before or after that? Be honest.
It was after.
Okay, fair enough. All right, fair enough. We were trying to. You know what? I have no problem with that. If that's true, I have no problem with that. You know why? We were trying to exploit you. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
So that
for
was
sure. All right, fair enough. All right, let that go. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to concede on that one. But it's just like
you and me were cool. We still talked about like video games and shit.
Not since Keffels. We didn't talk about shit after that.
No, I remember we talked about the Polymega. That was one of the last conversations we had. And that was after Keffels.
No, that's true. No. Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I'm not showing the vid. What the fuck? It doesn't matter. It's just Tommy's face. It's not like they're putting anything on screen. Here.
I'm not gonna lie. No, that's all right.
But yeah, we
because you know what my feeling was. But you know what my feeling was. It's not exactly good for you. My feeling was, fuck those guys. They're the ones that fucking kept you in to begin with. So if you're gonna fuck them,
this whole internet friends thing is super tricky because everyone talks about it differently. There's like the Medicare approach that Augie has, where it's like there's no such thing as internet friends, and then there's like the Tommy approach, where it obviously matters a hell of a lot more to him than I thought. Now hearing this argument, the reasonable perspective is that internet friends are like in and of themselves their own category. There's nobody on the internet that I would say I would care about more than like an actual IRL friend of mine. I definitely like appreciate having Tom and Augie around. I would call them friends, right? It'd be a real inconvenience if one of them blows up next. Like the Pyro shit 2 comes back around and Tom blows up or something. That would definitely suck. don't get me wrong. I think that you can have interactions like that online where you're like close to people and you're friendly with them. Like I would say that Chud Logic fits in that category as well. Someone I would definitely like to meet at a future VidCon. Wavy Web Surf is someone like that. Like I can't wait to see Wavy at VidCon next year. It's gonna be a real great time, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all whatsoever. But I think the people who are so interpersonal that they do all their dating online, that they're like all their friendships are online, that they take hours of their day offline to just disconnect and they have no one to talk to about anything and they're loners. I think that those people have a fucking huge problem and they need to like work on that. That's not good and that's not a healthy way to deal with this stuff. At the end of the day, everyone's making fun of Bo Blacks for saying coworkers and stuff, and I almost think I coined that term. I think he got that from me. I don't know for a fact. But we're all doing a fucking job, all right? Tom's income is his YouTube channel. More than half my income is my YouTube channel, right? All of Augie's income, I think, is YouTube channels and stuff like that. That's going to be a conflict of interest when it comes down to this stuff. And don't say, oh, well, if it's friendships, it doesn't matter. Because yes, it fucking does. Especially when there's these people who don't have regular jobs, who don't go anywhere else, who don't do anything else. That's obviously a huge conflict of interest that you don't have. Dude, you hear all the time, don't go into business with your friends. Don't sleep with one of the girls in your friend group, right? But with all these YouTube people, you're going to VidCon, and some of these guys are trying to fuck at VidCon. Some of these people are starting podcasts with their friends, and now all their money is intertwined in between each other. Of course there's going to be problems, dude. Every fucking time. You're fucking shitting where you eat. Dude, you have to realize that this is somebody's life. And there's going to be problems. There's going to be issues. And you have to navigate those properly. Those variables don't exist in a regular friendship. It's just easier.
I'm over. I told him you're no fucking good years ago. That's how I felt. So I didn't have to, like, I forgave you. So why do I gotta get mad at you now? You do shit to me. You did shit to me years ago and I'm over it. See, kind of the same way I feel about Bobax now.
Yeah. But no, like,
if you block me for that, I get it. We were definitely trying to use you for sure.
No, I think in hindsight, I think it was like a really stupid reason to block you. Honestly, it's just like I could have easily just like not responded to that call, and then afterwards talk to you like that was pretty fucked.
You could have called me during the fucking Kevo shit and say I feel differently about things.
I promise you, if I had a call with Tipster, it would not be this level of
things now.
I think it would be boring compared to this.
I'm saying you gotta tell your sexuality and shit, but you can say like this is something I believe in. I'm a socialist. What the fuck ever? What do I care?
But this is the difference between somebody who like had a big friendship with somebody and who feels like slighted, in comparison to like somebody who's just like, well, another fucking idiot bited the dust. Bited, yes. Another jackass bit the curb. Thanks. This is real convenient.
Socialist. You know me long enough. All I'm trying to do is make people laugh and get rewarded for it and get a donation. That's fucking it. That's all I've ever fucking done. And you know what? Yeah. I have not done it the easy way, and I have not done it by walking the fucking line and doing the most trending topic thing. I did it the way I thought. I don't believe it anymore. Howard Stern did it. He did what he believed. That's the way I've always fucking done it.
Yeah, ultimately, like, my thing is, like, obviously, like, when it comes to, like, our political views and stuff like that, like, we don't align and whatnot.
We used to. We used to. We used to
own the fact.
We used to.
No, I mean, I've always been pretty left wing. It's obviously not as much as now.
But you were okay with.
I wasn't vocal about it. I didn't.
Well, you were okay. You were okay with fucking Medicre's crowd at the time. At the time that they were the most right wing. You had no problem pandering to them at my expense. And you know what I was doing at the end of the day? I was sticking up for crowd who deserved it. And I'm glad I did. Even though I
want to take apologies from people like Tipster seriously, but they usually say I fucked up on some things instead of I fucked up doing X, Y, and Z, which is why they fucked up for A, B, and C reasons. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that with stuff like this, like there's no, like if you as a chatter wants to say like, all right, maybe he got this thing, maybe he understands it. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think someone who has the gene could become this self-aware, so I'm personally a little skeptical. But there's no harm in you guys taking stock in this apology. I'm just going to be more skeptical because I kind of have to be.
Huge out, lost subs, the whole fucking nine. Keemstar waiting to swoop in on me, saying I starved my kid.
What?
And I'm the one that got you noticed to begin with.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I gotta be honest
Jesus.
with you. Look, if I did that to somebody, I'd have trouble sleeping at night. Not because it's like the worst thing in the world to do, but just because like fucking I was
controller just got cucked. Yeah, what the fuck?
With you. I don't get that. I don't understand. And that's why I say like it's almost the old Medico. I don't think he feels this way anymore because I get the feeling that Cancer's changed his views on a few things, and I used the Ralph thing as evidence. The way he talked to Ralph and he didn't totally bury him when he could have. Like, do you really like? I have trouble believing that you don't see everything as a means.
I mean, when you get cancer and you're literally fucking on death's door, I don't think that you really hold grudges the same way anymore. The reality of this, and we talked about this on Augie's stream yesterday, is that nothing that we're doing here matters. We're creating slop. As much of an ego as I have, we don't matter in the grand scheme of life. We're at best niche internet micro celebrities. I don't even think I reach that status as a person, just to be clear. All the stuff we talk about does not matter. Except like once per year, we like help somebody who gets falsely accused of rape. And that's like probably genuinely valuable in some capacity. But other than that, like none of this stuff matters at all. But it's funny and it's to entertain. And that's why we're here. And you're entertained.
I want to like be proven wrong or something. Or like sort of like what just happened with the blocking over the lockout thing. That's legit. Right? Like how do I know this isn't different now? How do I know you like how do I know you're not gonna be ultra right wing next week?
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely. Well, like I see, like for example, like a lot of people saying this is like my return to the community. It's like no, I'm not returning to the community. I'm still kind of doing my own thing. It's just a matter of like I'm just tired of like I don't see the value in continuing to have like a feud like with you guys. And I can acknowledge that.
Like if I went down, let's say it was me who lied about BPD and had a fucking crazy schizo breakdown, right? I think Tipster would be doing the same arc right now with Bowblacks.
I didn't perfectly handle the way that I left the community. Yeah, I kind of like, I fucked up, and I can own that. Like that's my thing. Is like I didn't come into this call to argue with you or try to.
Why? I'm not. Look, I don't think I'm arguing with you. I'm asking questions.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm asking questions.
Of course
not. Why did you resent us because of the way the community turned out? I mean, I didn't like it either. I was bitching about it in 2019. This is the year of the pedo. Remember that whole thing? I was bitching about it then. That was a year we were good by then.
I mean, you and I had conversations about that.
I hated it. I hated it.
We missed the old days of drama when it was like
over
making
FIFA
fun of people
or some
fighting over
shit.
like stupid shit or whatever, or like girls photoshopping their like Instagram pictures and stuff. Like that's when it was fun.
Well, I'm looking at your stuff now. I'm looking at your stuff now. It's all political. So
yeah.
Do you really think you're the guy to be doing this though? Be honest. You're entitled to do it.
Oh, that's a good question. Does Tipster think he's knowledgeable to engage with some of these topics? That is a really good question. Because he's definitely not. That's spoiler alert, the answer, actually. But
you're not entitled to do it. You weren't the most politically astute person I ever met. I'm not saying I am. But I always thought I was a little better than you in this department. At least as far as just like knowledge, history, the whole night. Might be because I'm older.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, this is so annoying. Thank you,
I don't
Xbox.
know. I mean, you might have really strong feelings about this, but I know you weren't anti-Trump. I mean, you have every right to be anti-Trump. I'm not telling you not to be. But, like, is this really you? I guess that's what I asked.
I think the controller is, like, dead. The controller is plugged in. I unplugged it just now. I think the controller just broke.
Is this really you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is it always you?
That's what I'm saying is like I've always been like left wing. I just never.
Yeah, but a lot of left wingers
because you got to remember like a lot of people, especially in like the commentary space, like their whole thing was like do not talk about politics because like you're just going to cut your audience in half. You're going to alienate half your audience.
And which you did.
But the thing is, he did, and it did alienate his audience, but he doesn't care.
That's why I kind of like kept it to myself.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That was to get along with us who were seen as publicly right wing.
I'm using a scuff.
I mean, like
no. It wasn't that. It was more from an audience perspective of like, you don't talk about that stuff because you're literally going to cut your audience in half. That's what like was always like nailed.
So why did you go so hard Keffels? That doesn't make any sense. So why did you go so hard on Keffels? So pro Keffels, who turned out to be a crook, by the way.
Does he deny that? Oh, he didn't even engage with that. Jesus.
Or anything like that.
I didn't ask you to. Well, you went hard for her. That's a fact. I didn't ask you to argue in her defense. You didn't fucking rip anybody off. I'm well aware of that. But you did defend her, and you went in with Keffels. It did feel like I'm jumping on a new bandwagon. I mean, honestly, Tipster, I'm going to tell you flat. I think you're apolitical. I think you always were. I don't think you're left.
I don't think that's true.
You're apolitical.
I think he's off.
And I think
a mile.
That's the way I feel. That's
the way you feel, and that's fine. But like, that's not right.
I never had these comments. The only thing you ever got fucking charged up about since I known you was, I remember this conversation. What was his name? Not Billy Mitchell, the other fucking asshole, Todd Rogers, right? Because I remember having this conversation. Boy, I bet Billy's next, and you were like, he is next, and he was. He was. Whether he did it or not, I don't want to get you sued, but he was. You know, so it's tough to believe that this is all coming from your heart. Like, I haven't, well, maybe because like, you're not that much younger than me. Fucking, I haven't changed that much. I didn't change. The only thing I changed politically is when I went to Iraq.
Shot from the point, bitch.
I don't know, man. It's very difficult for me to believe that you're not.
I mean, that's fair. Like, ultimately, like, you're free to have whatever opinion about it or you want. But like, no, like, I just think my interests have changed, and so as a result of that, my content reflects that.
Well, am I going to see a fucking video in 3 months that's like Jeremy adjacent because it's getting more views? Because you're not getting the views you used to.
That's what? Sorry, I didn't.
And that's Jeremy adjacent. You know,
Jeremy.
I mean, Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy.
Quarter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Quarter,
definitely
yeah.
not.
Yeah, no.
Me and Jeremy are on the complete like.
Yeah, but there was a time when you weren't. There was a time when you weren't. And you by the way, you did go to work back in the day. One of the things
I think I have a bit more of a nuanced perspective on it, where like I'm not like super on board with like deplatforming or whatever, but like if somebody's using their platform for things that cause like real world harm, then like
that's subjective.
Yeah, but it depends on what you. Yeah, okay, he just said it. It's subjective. It depends on what you deem real world harm to be, what your line is, and that's how other people would judge it. Because you can't really say real world harm, and then kind of come out with a bullshit like fluffer, you know.
And that wasn't your fucking view.
I mean, obviously
back in the
it's
day.
subjective.
Yeah, but that's not what you didn't care back in the day. Now you do. Real world harm is 100% subjective. Free speech is what it's about. That's what you were about. You were 100% about free speech. Something I always respected about you.
But if you're 100% about free speech, then you defend things that Vito says. I do not defend things that Vito says. I call myself an enthusiast, not an activist, and it's a very fine line I'd like to cross. I would like to not cross, rather.
So I don't know. Like, here's my fear. I'm going to be just completely, totally honest with you. That Nick is going to, because Nick's picks at Bowbacks right now. You're going to use this opportunity to come back, and hopefully everybody forgets all the other shit.
I like Tommy because he's like a stand-in for the average audience member right now. I think that you think this is Game of Thrones, and it's really not. There's no, like, we're joking about having a fucking commentary community draft or bringing somebody back into the fold. Like, it's fucking business at this point. There's no like, oh, we need to bring back Tipster. Oh, we don't need to do anything at all. We're just making content.
And you get your channel back in order.
I know that's not the fun answer or whatever, because it'd be funnier if we do something stupid. But like, I genuinely, like, all these people I fought with, I don't give a fuck about any of them at this point. At this point in the game, I was invested previously. Those days are long over. There's no reconciliation where Edwin comes back on and hangs out on 15th Street. I'm sorry to blow the bubble there. There's no time when I'm going to go live and sit with Tipster for like 3 hours or whatever and chat about fucking video games, unless it's ironic. Like, there's no rekindling of these associations have ended. They're done. That's the end of it.
Like, I guess fucking she's not coming back. Keffels, you couldn't support. Well, you could, I suppose, but I mean, it's not the future. You know that. If Trump wins, actually, you're probably better off staying left. You're better off staying the opposite wing of whoever's in power. That's always the smart move, because I started to see a move towards the left in 2017. Shocking. You just did it before. You should have stayed on the right until Trump got elected. That would have been a wrong.
Nick's like the Don. This is the Sicilian mafia. No, this is Nick's personal policy. Augie might have a different one, and he can do whatever he wants. If Tom wants to sit and talk to Edwin's Generations on his live stream, and he thinks that that's what I don't give a flying fuck. I'm not going to shut you down if you do that. I don't care. That's the God's honest truth with it all. Like, this is my personal policy and what I'm doing with my platform. Everybody else is allowed to do whatever they want.
That would have been a smarter move.
But I'm not in it for like a grift or anything like that. These are like views that I genuinely have, and so my content reflects those views.
I don't believe you.
And I can tell you don't believe that, and that's fine. You don't have to. I'm not here to.
I'm not here to destroy you. I am totally here to understand. I think I've been really fair, because you've seen me over the years. You know my content, right? I usually would start screaming at somebody like you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I told you, I was here to take my lumps, and that's what I'm here to do. You know.
Are you taking your lumps just to get back in?
No, I don't think he is.
I don't want back in. I've made that really clear. Like, even the few interactions we've had that I've had with Nick or whatever, like I can own that I fucked up and I treated you guys poorly. Like I can 100% take accountability for that.
Well, yeah. What about those left wing Nazi commies? Are they gonna fucking be okay with that? Because as far as they're concerned, we're killing fucking Jews in the Holocaust.
What?
Are you gonna be okay with that? Because I gotta be honest with you, I don't think your side is all that forgiving.
I think if Tipster was, I don't want to say if if he was sincere, because I don't know if he's fucking. I would have laughed in Tommy's face if he said that to me. Like if I was in Tipster's position, I would have literally just started laughing. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It probably would have eased the whole tension in the call. What the fuck? Like he's drunk, obviously, but
I think our side's a little more forgiving. I mean,
our side, like yeah, he team sports it.
Right, I mean the comment or whatever this click is. Because I forgave you. I forgave you when you did me dirty. And I was nothing but nice to you. Nothing but nice to you. Fucking loved you, bro.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
And I know we're not, when I say I loved you, I mean more content. Like we weren't the best fucking friends in the world. Even
when he said I loved you, I was like.
Shit, but I love I fucking loved it, and then I fucking sucked up my pride, and I just
the joke is the joke chat is that they had gay sex.
He should have apologized to me over emails, Sean. I'm a fucking decent father. I'm not the best in the world, but I didn't let my kid fucking starve. My wife called me up and said the babysitter, who by the way called every fucking day at that point, and said my son was sick to the point where like if he just sniffled. And she called me, and she was closer walking distance than I was. Said, well, she's choking because you wanted me to walk over there. And I didn't want to do it because it was my day off. It was my day to stream with Dave. So I told her, you go pick him up. Oh, by the way, he's 8 now. He didn't die.
Yeah.
I kind of get it. I understand where Tommy's mad here. Like, I don't understand it, but I understand why I don't understand it. Like, I'm looking at this from a perspective of just like a 27-year-old retard, right? And this guy's got a fucking wife and kids, and they're assaulting his fucking position as a dad. Like, I don't know. I kind of understand. Like, it's not like he ever really showed that this bothered him as much in the last couple of years, but obviously it did. 10 beers in, it definitely did.
So I'm not a bad dad. I couldn't do that. You know what?
Again, in Tipster's defense, and not even Tipster, I don't think Tipster's arguing this, but like, not dying isn't also a great metric. Like that's not a good argument for that, but I would never like criticize Tommy's position as a father. He obviously loves his kid, and he's a great dad.
I'm not the best, but I'm not a fucking bad dad. And you were okay to cash on that.
Here's what I'll say, Tommy. I was way out of line for that. And I thought I apologized to you for that.
No, you apologized to Nick.
What?
You never apologized to me.
but I'm gonna do it now, and I mean it. I'm sorry. I should have never did that to you. I knew you were a good father to your kids, and I should have never fucking done that to you. And I genuinely am sorry for that.
I appreciate it. I'll take it.
I said, I can own that I treated you guys bad, and the way that I left, even though I don't.
Is Tipster about to ult? Are they sharing a moment together?
Regret leaving. I
Whoa.
I get leaving. If my soccer thing took off, I'm fucking gone. I'm doing this once a week. Because the pedo shit drives me crazy.
What is happening right now? Bro!
Crazy. It drives me nuts.
Is Tipster drunk too? No, he's not drinking anymore. Oh.
It's like, what did I get in this for? And I'm talking about fucking age of consent shit every week. I get that. 100%. 100% I get where you're coming from there. But yet
bro, what is happening?
Fucking fuck us over to get in with her. And she's a rotten person. I never did you that dirty. Yeah, I mean,
what the fuck is happening,
made
bro?
Fun of you. But I mean, everybody gets it in the ass. Like, fucking Nick's fat, you're fat, I'm fat. Everybody's fucking getting goofed on. You can't fucking get mad at us for that. Everybody's getting in the ass at all times. And here's the upside.
Why does it have to be in the ass?
We get paid. I don't get that, man. I don't fucking.
Why does it gotta be in the butt, dude?
Ugh. And you liked me because the reason you watched me is because I fucking punched up all the fucking time, no matter what it cost me.
Yeah.
Stuck up for you. I fucking forgave you without the apology, and I still stuck.
Without context, it sounds like you guys are gay porn stars. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Motherfucker, man.
Hey, thank you, Beckett. And Jenny. Hope and see the chat rated in.
Yeah, so you're right, chat. Some of this is beer, but I mean every word of it. You're right. I would have blown him up and made fun of him or something. But I fucking mean everything. I don't understand. Blowbacks, I get it to some extent because I think is like if you watch.
I never knew that Tommy liked Tipster so much. I never knew.
Which, by the way, you were involved with. By the way, like I get because you can see the pattern. The pattern is the same. And Nick said it's not the same. He's not the same guy he was. That's true. He's just open folders, and whatever is going on in his fucking life is like an overdrive. I don't know what it is. I'm not a doctor.
Just to be clear, I'm gonna power scale this. Open folders is like 1/14th as bad as whatever the fuck happened recently. This new thing that happened with Josh is a completely different level, and I maintain that position.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to fucking just yell at you. I want to enjoy myself. It's my fucking birthday, bro. What's up?
Can I ask a couple
Sure.
of
No,
questions?
sure, Jeannie. Go ahead. By the way, it's my tips. This is my new producer. She's doing a great job. Matt kind of moved on. I don't know if you know that.
What's the open folder? It's Instagram Wake Up. I have a video on my main channel that'll take you through it. I use the Blue Yeti voice, so it is not good because it has that voice. But otherwise, I think that it's the first one I did that's kind of similar to my current style of video production that I would post in like a regular main channel video. They got involved trying to break a pedo investigation open. They either hit a honeypot or just failed in general. And Josh was like a egotistical retard who would not take any criticism for the situation at the time. And he looked like an idiot, and Tommy clowned him.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Matt moved on. Here you go. Here's Jeannie. Go ahead. Ask him.
Yeah. So first question is, can you lay out directly how Bo Blacks backstabbed you?
I wouldn't use the term backstab. My thing that I was communicating in that email was that Nick had mentioned on one of his streams that Bo Blacks did like this double speak mixed signals thing where he would like tell someone that he was like cool with them or whatever, but then he would like turn around and say something different to other people. And the examples that I gave, I actually tweeted them out. Is first of all, there was like a time he DM'd me. He's like, by the way, if anybody ever reaches out to you and tells you like, I'm backstabbing you by like telling you that like are talking shit about you in private conversations or on streams.
Tipster did show some DMs that showed Boblax kind of playing both sides during that. So I do think this is a fair criticism from Tipster.
I just want you to know I'm just joking. Okay. And so it's like, it was really weird, especially considering like the bully streams. There were things at that time he claimed he was joking about, but all of a sudden, like it was.
I got to be honest, I agree 100% on Tipster on this one. It was all bullshit. He was bullying you for money.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I would have bullied Free for money if I thought of it first.
Yeah, and then the other thing was the stream that I did with him and Keffels. We all came out of that call thinking that was like a positive conversation that ended well in the end of it. And then the next morning, like I woke up and everybody was pissed at me about that, like how I backstabbed Boblax or whatever. And like, holy shit, like did I fuck up? So I DM'd.
Yeah, I genuinely wonder what Josh's real opinions on that were prior to me and Augie like fighting with Tipster. Do you like? I don't know. Now I look back on it. I was watching some of the old videos and like, it's worth going back and giving it your own look if you have time. Because I'm not really sure he cared as much as he pretended. Well, I don't want to say pretended because that's malice there. I'm explaining that he's literally being malicious, but I don't know. It seems like he cared a whole lot more after Augie got involved.
And I asked him like, "Hey, bro, like, I thought we had a good conversation, but if you like are upset about that conversation, like, I'm genuinely sorry, right?" And he's like, no, we're good. I thought that was a good conversation. Everything's cool now, right?
So now you know how you know what? I believe every word you're saying. I'm going to interrupt you. I'm sorry. And you can finish. I'm going to let you finish 100%. That's how I feel about you.
Did Tommy just interrupt Tipster to say he's going to let him finish?
I'm sorry. And you can finish.
Right?
So now you know how you know what? I believe every word you're saying. I'm going to interrupt you. I'm sorry. And you can
no, he said I'm going to interrupt you. Sorry.
I'm going to let you finish 100%. That's how I feel about you.
Like he did that one time. He's like, hold on, I'm gonna let you finish. And he's like, wait, what?
Yeah. No, like I said, I own it. I was a dick.
I hope so.
There's no other way to
look,
put it.
Look, with the Keffels shit, you literally did nothing to me. Nothing to me with Keffels. Nothing. And I was just like, fuck that guy. He took advantage of me. I'm gonna take advantage of him. Because, you literally had to, all you had to do, because I mean, we've had a million meetings with you over the years.
Yes, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm at a loss for words. That is Tommy's best quote. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm at a loss for words on this one.
And say, look, I want to do this. This is important to me. And I want to leave a commentary. I would appreciate if you guys let me be, because this is going to be a lot of shit I'm going to say. That's going to be fucking
That's what I should.
And I think Nick would have respected it, because he's fucking. I mean, we literally got to fight over the trans shit.
Yeah.
It's all you had to do. Yeah. Just like Boblax, like me and Nick, the biggest bastards on the fucking planet, the total fucking bad, right wing fucking Nazis. And what happened when I was in Gran Canaria? I'm worried about Boblax.
The fuck is Gran Canaria?
Worried about the transition. I'm worried about his well-being. If you would have told us about your sexuality, we would have respected that too. I guarantee it. Because if I would have came out with that, or Nick would have came out, my own audience would have turned on.
Tipster got outed by his own mod. Ugh.
Because it would have been a total fucking fake. I've always presented myself as a libertine. Do what you want, as long as it doesn't affect anybody else.
Wait, what does he mean by libertine? Is he trying to say libertarian? Or is libertine a thing? He said this on multiple occasions. Libertine.
And if I'd have came out and fucking...
Because he said, I've caught him saying this.
And if I'd have came out and fucking thrown you out or exposed you or laughed at you for that, even though you didn't never made me say Z's or anything like that, I would have been the bastard. I would have been in the wrong. And deservedly so. But I mean, I don't get why you didn't do this.
The thing that gets me with Tommy is I think he'd be a lot happier if he just stopped thinking about all this trans shit. It's just like, I don't think the average person considers like, I mean, Tipster does obviously because it's all he tweets about, but like, I don't know. This obviously like weighs so heavily on his mind. I don't think about trans people at all. Like 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I just said to everybody, hey, listen, I'm going to stop talking about trans issues because I do not care about them at all. I don't know anybody who's trans. Personally, it's not an issue that's big for me. There's about 50 other issues. You want to go watch any political debate? I think the vice presidential debate's happening tonight. Do you think there's going to be a single question about trans issues on that? It's the most talked about political commentary topic on YouTube, and it's a non-issue for the majority of voters in America today. Okay? Like, it's literally small fry in comparison to every other political issue that's happening. It's not gonna. The only thing it's gonna impact is whenever I have to bring up a specific discussion about this on stream or something like that, where I'm like forced to talk about it. But otherwise, I don't spend a second of my day thinking about trans issues.
It's like you. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand, and I don't know if you're telling me the truth. And I'm not being like unreasonable. I think I've been more reasonable with you, and I've not always been reasonable with callers. Yes, that who's the guy that fucking he transitioned to Mumpky Jones's friend, and what's his name?
Libertine Hunger Force. Is that like an anime?
That guy I yelled at. It was on the second channel. Digibro, yeah. I wasn't exactly nice to Digibro either. I didn't give a shit. But I mean, like your own crew.
I just don't give a fuck about pronouns, man. I really don't. Dude, I have no problem with calling people, like, whatever makes the conversation go by easier. It's not a big deal. I won't do, like, the neo pronouns, because I think that those are fake and stupid, and they defeat the purpose of what pronouns are. But, like, I judge it off of vocals. I don't see people's faces majority of the time I interact with them. I'll do my best to remember it, but if you say your pronouns are she, her, and you sound like Jalen, there's really not much I can do there. I'm going to make mistakes and stuff, but I'll try to do my best, right? Like, it doesn't impact my life to just try to make the conversation go by a bit nicer.
That's what I don't get. Like, do you remember me sticking up for you? For the whole fucking thing that started this whole thing? Like, that's another thing I really want to ask you. When the thing came up to the lolly stuff, all right? You remember I put my ass in the line, I stuck up for you, right? During that.
And I appreciate it.
And I know you used some of my stuff and stuff like that because, the
thing is, if I talk to Tipster today, it would be about the lolly stuff. I would call him and I would ask him a bunch of questions about what positions he had. I don't think I would go in depth in specifics unless we're talking about the Chris Tyson one. But I would just ask him, like, hey, man, why did you keep sticking your neck out for all these lolly conflicts when you knew that was the main issue? Why were you jumping in, like, to jump and defend these people who don't even want to defend themselves and putting yourself in terrible positions? Why would you keep engaging with Salvo when we told you that wasn't something you should be doing and letting him farm you? And it's so obvious. It's exactly what you were doing. Like, why didn't you accept advice from us and stuff? And he's just gonna be like, I don't know, man. I'm sorry, man. You're right, man. You're 100% right, Nick. And that's the whole conversation's gonna go. So it's not even really worth having it because it's just like, it's so obvious now. And I hope that he's not just yesing me to death and this is something he actually believes, right? But there's no way for me to judge that at all. There's no way for me to have any sort of, there's no way for me to actually know if he's telling the truth. He's just going to yes me to death.
Here's what I think happened to you. I think literally the same thing happened to you with Bobax. You got sick of his optics checking you, didn't you?
No.
He wanted us to optics. No, you're 100% wrong, Tommy. He wanted us to keep optics checking him and keep looking like fucking idiots. And like, I don't know, this is something that's been a clear pattern of behavior throughout this whole situation, is these guys would constantly leave me in a position where I look like a fucking idiot. Where if you just leave everybody alone and shut the fuck up and do your fucking job and make your money, it would be much easier on all of your friends. Like, you're putting everybody in positions where they look stupid because they have to defend you, and if they don't defend you, they're bad friends. That's when people stop being friends with you. And when you constantly lock them in positions that are completely unwinnable because you yourself are making really dumb decisions.
God, you got sick of us because you realize just like more than you think. Because we used to go to you and tell, it's like, this is the fucking good narrative, and you would do it every time, right up until then.
He's going to deny that.
Is that
it's
an
true.
optics check?
Yes.
Kinda.
Wait. here's what you ought to say. Okay, I will say it. That might as well be an optics check. That's an optics check for idiots. That's an optics check for people who are too stupid to come to the conclusion themselves. Yes, 100%. That would qualify as an optics check. Yeah. When you're just taking the argument and running with it because it's better than whatever you were thinking, it might as well have been an optics check for people who can't usually think for themselves.
Basically, fucking regurgitate.
I guess
you always regurgitated what we suggested to you. And it wasn't when we weren't doing it. We weren't doing it to fuck you over. We weren't doing it to fuck you over.
See, like when I think of optics check, I think of like if I say something and you guys kind of like check me on it, like this is like a stupid.
All right, yeah. All right, I don't think that literally happened.
Well, so there's two types of optics check. There's pre and post. Like if I reply to your tweet after you've already said it and said, "Hey, buddy, you ought not do that," but like you could reach out to somebody for an optics check. You could talk to somebody before you make a decision like that. Yeah.
But I mean, we would tell you like this is probably the way to go, and it was always It was pre-optics check if you want to look at it that way. You know, because I always felt like when the whole thing happened, because I wasn't a part of it, and like I said, I'll say it again, you do shit to me, and the whole Capitals thing, that you just started. It feels like Bobacks, like you just started to resent them after a while. You know, I'm grateful that I've been optics checked. By the way, I got optics checks by something by Nick with Dr. Disrespect. That could have been career ending had he not done it.
The big optics check for Tommy that I would say was equal. Like Tommy helped me build my channel and gave me opportunities that I wouldn't have been able to get because YouTube is very much a know somebody, get some help kind of game. So without him, I wouldn't have a channel. Now, I don't think Tommy would have much of a... no offense to Tommy, because I think he handles himself very good a lot of the time or whatever. Or he'll get lucky sometimes and... whatever. I think that the one that I helped him that gave back everything he gave to me was the Ethan Ralph situation, because I think that we were entering a really dark time for Shot from the Point, and I think it's funny to say it now with like all the stuff that's happened with Ralph and all the different controversies and people aren't friends who were friends back then and stuff, but the stream where I negotiated Ralph coming on to chat after the Ian Miles Chung thing went so fucking poorly after defending Ian Miles Chung, and I got all the talks to happen on that one stream and we walked away from it, everyone was good and everyone was happy after that. That was a real helping hand that I provided Tommy to get him on that. And again, that's not Nick DeOrio who fought with Mama Max. That's not Nick DeOrio that chased Bo Blacks out of the community. That's not Nick DeOrio that even fought with I'm Alex yet and got Slazo in the call and organized that guy's thing with Tom. This is Nick DeOrio, who was on YouTube for like 3 months, who had no idea how the fucking thing worked. So,
and I appreciate it. I don't think to myself, "Oh, I wish I would have been able to say my narrative because that was my thoughts and my feelings, and why do I have to listen to Nick?" No, I was like, "Thank you. I didn't think of it that way." Like, why weren't you that way? Why weren't you grateful? I don't understand. Like all you motherfuckers saw me lose sub for years, saw me fucking fight the uphill battle. You got your fucking plaques and shit. And then you resented the people that got you there? I don't get that. And I don't care if I ever get a fucking thing. But I mean, I watched all you guys grow.
Fuck.
Get that shit?
I don't know.
And I was always fucking like rooting you on. Bobacks, you, Illuminati, name the motherfucker.
This goes on for quite a while. Christ.
Really? Even on the good side? Tom? I never, ever fucking got jealous. Ever. What the fuck is wrong with you?
How long was this fucking convo?
You could have been friends with fucking her. I wouldn't give a shit.
This is Tommy's first fireside chat.
I care about her.
No, you didn't.
But she wanted a piece of Nick's ass, didn't she? Be honest.
I mean, if she did, I didn't know.
Come on, man.
I knew that she didn't like Nick, but I don't know if she was like.
You don't think if she saw the opportunity, like you saw the opportunity with me and the shit that I said on Breakfast and Beer with my son, you don't think she would have swooped in? Be honest, come on.
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
You want to throw her on the bus, do you? She's gone. She didn't care about you. She never cared about you. You're a means to a fucking end.
They probably still talk like I talked to Augie when he was gone. I don't know if that's true.
Just like all the fucking fans. I think that's what drives me crazy about you.
Is it just me, or when I put Tommy on 1.25 or whatever, 1.5, does he sound less drunk and more coherent?
Because Bobacks, fucking Augie. Remember, Augie took my side, or your side over mine during fucking even prior to open folders.
This just sounds like regular Tommy, just a little bit faster.
And then Nick just took you in.
This is misleading. Tommy is still drunk, Chad.
Even though he thought you were a fucking idiot. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. This is becoming a bigger lecture than I want it to be.
Can I ask another question?
Sure, go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, what's your favorite Resident Evil game?
So yeah, that's fucking Tipster. That's Tipster. That's Tommy. Wait,
Yeah,
what
I
is
really like-
sleep
honestly,
mode?
I would have thought it would have been 8 because of the big titty goth mommy, but
I mean, Big Titty Goth Mommies are pretty nice. You know, I'll say that
Yeah.
much.
Okay, I don't want to hear about big titty.
I stuck
goth.
up for you. I stuck up for you when you were flirting with other chicks. And everybody's fucking all these fucking right.
Oh, wait, whoa,
We're loyal to your wife. I'm like, I'm married, and my wife doesn't care. Like, look, I've said stuff to Ginny live, not privately. I want to make sure. Seth, who's here now, and I've done the whole sex Howard Stern thing. Everybody knows it's fucking jokes. Everybody knows it's good, and I always stuck up for you. Always. Everybody called you a degenerate and you didn't love your wife and all that shit. And I always, with Bojangles, fucking everybody, I stuck up for you.
Dude, he's fucking fired up, bro.
Well, I'm not gonna blame you for the fucking. I was gonna bring up the fucking. I get the blocking thing. I get that. I didn't give a shit. At that time, I didn't give a shit about it. I didn't give a shit about it.
It was a stupid fight.
Yeah, but I didn't give a shit.
I could have had a conversation.
I would have used you on that one. I'll be honest with you. I don't give a shit. But I would have never done that if you just say, like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this fucking. Everybody's fucking a pedophile. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting involved in something I believe in. This whole trans rights horse shit. And I do think it's horse shit, by the way. Deal with it. But I could have respected it. Maybe it's what you're passionate about. I could have totally respected that.
The table is catching strays.
Honestly, there's nothing in my history. Nothing.
By the way, that art is fucking moving fast, dude. Holy shit.
No.
You pissed away a good friend. I just want to let you know that. And you know what? Nick was a good friend to you, too. You know what? Augie fucking loved you.
It's hard to sell that after all the horrible shit I've said to Tipster in the past year.
Bobax, but just remember when
I think if he agrees with that, it's a lie.
I remember when I fucking bitched about Bobax, nobody listened to me. You pissed away some good friends. And you know what? Maybe that's punishment enough. I don't hate you.
I can 100% own that like I should not have treated you guys the way that I did. And I'm sorry.
The art is making you motion sick. Let's go back here.
You took your lumps. Is there anything you want to talk about? I don't want to see like I really had to get out of my chest.
I mainly came in just to talk about like the vault thing and how like I felt genuinely bad for that when that happened.
Oh, the vault thing? That wasn't even your fault. That was Vault's fault and my fault for being an asshole. You know what? Here's the thing. Two things can be true at the same time. I'm a fucking jerk off. I treat my friends like shit. And fucking look, what you post is your
Well, you said what you said. I was very transparent. The second that Tipster started pulling all this shit and I found those DMs, that was like my first Tipster stream. You can watch it here. I think it's literally called like the first Tipster stream. That was the turning point, and after that, all the coverage was way harder. I took out like 3 years of fucking shit on him for that. Yeah, 100%. And I would argue I was still justified. But like, yeah, day one when he started pulling that shit with me, when he said like, well, because once he started turning around saying like it was my fault that all this stuff was happening, when it was definitely his fault, 100% his fault. The entire fucking thing was his fault. We were all giving him advice the entire time, blah, 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 blah. I was just like, fuck it, dude. And I just started bashing him for being a fucking alcoholic. That was the first thing that came to mind, was like, fuck you. And I ran a whole segment about how he has a healthy relationship with alcohol and he does fucking shot streams. The nature of our friendship became unsalvageable the second that I started going in. And I knew that when I fired up the stream. And I did that shit on Twitch. Think about it, dude. The Tipster nuke stream was to like 400 people.
You know, if you want to,
that was a big stream for me on Twitch.
Chance and criticize zombie douchebag. By the way, that's kind of proof right there that you were on our team on that one, because she was a left wing loon. Would you criticize her now?
I think that a lot of the ways that she handled things were like insanely over the top. So like, yeah, I actually stand by some of the criticisms I gave her.
I got. Stop worrying about. Well, maybe it isn't the right advice. Talk about what you know about. Because look, the gaming thing. We're all family 4 years now, and I'm proud of it. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. You can fucking. Maybe I'm losing.
That's 50 Bo Blacks. Is Jesus.
What? Not that bad. I just bought a house.
What did Tommy say that made Tipster cut him off? Tipster kind of took like when Tommy started defending Ian Miles Chung, Tipster took the other side of that, even though they were friends. And Tommy was ultimately wrong in that conflict, but it wasn't like, oh, Tommy's wrong. It's that Tommy's a bad dad, and he was boosting tweets about that. That's what made Tommy so upset. It wasn't just like, you disagree with me. It's that Tommy's a bad dad. I think, again, I apologize if I'm missing anything with that. I'm not super knowledgeable on stuff that old. I wasn't really super present during it.
I mean, I don't think you're a loser for this. Like, you're doing something you love for a living, and like you said, you bought a house, you feed your family off of it. Like,
yeah, well, I don't see my internet friends. I don't see my internet friends as future content. If they want to make themselves future on it, and I don't think I've ever used anybody for content that didn't fuck me to begin with. I don't think I've ever done that. And I've taken fucking L's for guys like Kraut that were in some cases in the fucking wrong, but I stuck with him because I didn't want to be that fucking guy that just jumped on it because the train was there. And maybe that's what you should do in the future, whatever.
Well,
So-
in any case, I don't want to, derail your birthday stream any further. But
I'm glad we had. I gotta be honest, I feel good. I'm glad we had this. talk.
Smaggle, is there some reason why I'm still watching this? You said keep it playing. Is there something valuable going to happen now?
All right.
okay, I just want to end it by saying that I can own up to my mistakes, that I didn't handle my departure in the best way, and I genuinely apologize for that. And I don't expect forgiveness.
And I don't care about that shit.
I can't believe we got fucking Tipster apologizing before we got Grand Theft Auto 6.
If you came to me, even with the sexuality thing, I would have never exposed you for that. Ever.
Oh no!
Do you believe that? I mean, I guess I need to hear that.
No, I absolutely no, because I seen your comments on it at the time. You thought it was really fucked up that got outed.
I didn't like it.
And that was
I've never outed anybody sexually. I've never outed anybody sexually ever. And by the way, here's the funny part. I don't believe in your sexuality. I think it's complete bullshit.
Jesus Christ!
You're gay or straight. That's the way I feel. Accept it or don't accept it. But I never, even though I don't fucking believe in that shit, I still respected you enough to think that was fucking horse shit.
Tipster's like, that's the meanest nice thing anyone's ever said to me.
Maybe I'm not a right-wing wacko. Maybe I'm a fucking...
No, Tommy, I think that was... Well, I don't know.
I don't want to derail the stream, but I have a question for Tipster.
No, let him go. He's taken enough from me. Let him go. No, I'm sorry.
No.
Dude, it's like a fucking... It's like an animal. Let him go. He deserves to he won today.
No, I want to ask him a question.
He can ask me
one question. One question. I'm going to let him go because I've beaten him for an hour.
He can ask it, and if I don't want to answer it, I just want to answer it.
All right, fine. Go ahead.
So, I just want to know you because you said you want to build up, you want me to unblock you and whatever. So, answer me this question and I'll unblock you. During the Chris Tyson thing, you said that the drawing that Chris Tyson got was Bella Delphine-esque. Could you explain that? How is that drawing of a child Bella Delphine-esque?
All right, thanks for loading that.
I'm not interested in relitigating all that shit.
I guess that's a no.
I'll say this. Here's what I'll say about that is that the initial defenses of Chris Tyson were based on the fact that they were facing legitimate transphobia. But as more information came out about Chris Tyson, there's no defense there. They've done absolutely ridiculous stuff that they should not have been doing, and there's no defending them. I can tell you, as somebody who's very much involved in queer communities, nobody's defending Chris Tyson now.
Yeah, there is.
They made their bed and now they're sleeping in it.
No, Chris Tyson's fucked.
No one is defending Chris Tyson.
Okay, I'm going to say something, and this is either going to piss people off or it's going to be pretty much what people want to hear, depending on who you are in the audience. Obviously, there's no reconciling with Tipster. There's no building a bridge with Tipster. But Tipster will gain my respect if he gets on stream and sits there and watches himself and his Chris Tyson coverage in that Pokemon soundtrack video describe the Shadman artwork and then provide me an ample excuse as to why he said that at the given time, one that I would find acceptable. It wouldn't be my forgiveness. It wouldn't be a ticket back to the community, but he would gain my respect if he sits here and he watches that clip and he watches the follow-up clip after people already started, and then he comes up with some excuse other than I was blindly defending them because they were a trans person. That's my terms. I would have that conversation with him anytime he wants. I have nothing to debate. There's nothing to prep. I have two clips I want him to watch, and then that would be that. And that situation would be, in my mind, resolved if he can adequately respond.
Not everybody's a transphobe, Tipster. It's the truth. Not everybody in the right...
But I want him to sit there, and I want him to watch it.
Transphobe. You know what? I think this might get you fucked up, but not demand is the wrong word. I want you to hear that everybody's either libertine or on the right isn't a transphobe.
I don't care about that.
Everybody that's on the right This is I know if you're fucking really sorry. I want you to tell me that everybody that's on the right or libertarian, is not a transphobe in every case. That's all I want to hear out of your mouth.
Did you say a transformer or a transformer?
I
don't believe that.
I just want to hear you say it.
Well, I'll tell you right now. Like, no, I don't believe that.
You don't believe that everybody that's on the right, even Christians, or far right Christians, are transphobes or libertarians. You don't believe that?
No, not everybody. No.
Okay. All right. Fine. I'm good. I'm not going to. Yeah, you took a beating. You took a beating.
It's why, like, because I heard. Yeah, it's why, because like I heard on the stream where you're like, this isn't going to be an easy conversation for you. It's
well, no, you took it like a man. I whatever, if I'm allowed to say that.
Like, I have no problem admitting that like I've made mistakes in the past. I don't necessarily agree with every.
But you believe
but I do own the fact that, like, yeah, I've made some really fucking stupid decisions, and I think you guys have every fucking right to hate my guts.
All right, fair enough. You're done. You've done your penance. For me, you've done your penance.
For what it's worth, Tommy, when we were friends, I always appreciated you as a friend, and I do acknowledge that I fucked that up, and I'm sorry.
All right. Well, here's what I'll say. I wish you the best, and I hope things... your YouTube career, and if they don't, I hope you fucking enjoy the whole gaming YouTube sphere. Whatever you want to do, and I wish the best for you. I really do. It's not bullshit. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to fucking. I don't know if we're fucking going drinking next week, but I mean that. I mean it almost the same way I mean for Bobax. I hope things get better for him too. I do. I know you guys. I mean, I don't fucking want you to die or anything, for Christ's sakes.
I want everyone that I hate to die.
I know by saying that you put yourself at great risk for the more radical elements of the left, and that's what I wanted to hear, and I'm good.
I don't think tipsters are any risk for anybody.
And it's done. You're good with it. We are.
I don't think those guys don't self-police at all. He's literally no risk. Dude, you know how much shit you have to do for those people to hate you? Realistically, do you know how much shit you have to do? Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe you. I don't know if I believe you, but we're good. All right? Is that fair?
Okay.
All right?
Fair enough.
Happy
birthday. Much love to you. And
thank you for the donation. All right. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
How do you feel?
Let me see. I want to find this. I have it on my YouTube channel. We could just watch it. This is what I want Tipster to watch, if you're wondering. There's a second clip that goes with it, but this should be good. Tipster 1. Okay. And let's boost the volume. This is what I want Tipster to watch.
Mr. Beast, right?
This is what he's reacting to.
So Chris from Mr. Beast, right?
I've showed this on 3 consecutive...
Artist is the same artist that drew my daughter.
This is the meme, chat. The meme is a picture of a girl with a Queen of Spades on her leg, which is a fucking signal that signifies a white female for affinity with interracial sex. Okay, and it's inscribed with the letters "Big Black Cock BBC." That's what Tipster's defending here. This is something that he has as the centerpiece of his living room, chat.
At the time, Keemstar's daughter was only 7 years old. On November 18th, 2016, Chad continued his trend of drawing real-life lolly art when he drew Lieutenant Corbus posed sexually with a microphone. Keep in mind that this girl was new to being a celebrity.
That's the girl he drew, chat!
At the time, and once again, was just 11 years old. In a post from October 5th, 2010, Chad writes that he was forced to remove all pornographic images from his site because of laws in Switzerland that prohibited depicting underage people in art.
Now this is what the charitability comes in. If we're being ultra charitable to Tipster in the clip you're about to see, okay, maybe he's referring to this. Now I'm going to take all of that doubt away from you, but look at this from the eyes of maybe he's just talking about the joke about how Chris said they crank it to lolly, okay? Maybe that's what he's talking about. And yet they're still together because Mr. Beast supports his friends the way real friends should, okay? Let's get to this part. Here. thinks.
Alright guys, so as you know, there's been a lot of people on the internet making a big deal about the fact that Chris Tyson from the Mr. Beast crew came out as gender non-conforming recently, and they're trying to like make a lot of outrage and drama surrounding somebody basically just trying to live their life. But it's gotten to the point where people started digging into like old tweets of theirs and stuff like that to find some reason to cancel them. And the latest thing is that apparently Chris Tyson is a pedophile because he made some edgy jokes about lolly and kids. Now, I gotta be honest, they're not the kind of jokes that I personally...
Oh, guys, we gotta clarify. I wouldn't make that joke. I'd just defend your right to make it. That sounds like what people were doing for Shad's website. Don't you understand? Don't you understand your argument's the same as Elvis's? Oh.
But we...
Oh, I'm gonna just believe him. I'm gonna believe him. He said it wasn't
By the way,
on
this
purpose.
is-
I'm gonna just believe him.
Just to be clear, this is from February. All the Chris Tyson stuff didn't explode until like June. Just to be clear, we were talking about this shit in February over Tipster, and it started a domino effect, and it ended up destroying Mr. Beast, if you're wondering. That's how far back. This VOD that you're looking at right here is from February. Keemstar tweeting this video that I got from Bernie. I edited it, obviously, and added more to it and censored it more and stuff. But, like, this video ultimately started a domino effect that destroyed Mr. Beast.
Really gotten to the point where making edgy jokes makes you a pedophile. I kid you not, that's how low the bar for pedophilia has become. At this point, give it like a month or two, and you'll be considered a pedophile just for breathing the same air as children.
Oh, breathing the same air. Haha. Yeah, well, Tipster, you've been fucking going in. What was this, your 5th lolly controversy? I think this is actually your 2nd, but.
Here.
That the Shad allegedly owned.
So we watched that. Then there's the second clip that comes right after this that I like lost my mind over. Watch this. This is him at current day in February. You can tell by him not wearing a hat. But this is what his take was after people started pointing it out to him.
But he sounded good.
Actually, I think there might be a third clip. I'm not sure if this is the one.
There's no getting out of it. It's insane. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. And he's gonna watch this. No, I'm not joking. He played.
Okay.
Makes you a pedophile. I kid you not, that's how low the bar for pedophilia has become. At this point, give it like a month or two, and you'll be considered a pedophile just for breathing the same air as children.
This is why we
So that
had
was in this video.
Yeah.
And people are passing around this video saying that I defended Shadman art in this video.
Yes!
Never mind the fact that I don't actually mention Shad
Yes! Did you watch that clip? Yeah.
Shadman's art in the video at all, but this is being used as proof that I defended Shadman art.
If he stops right there, this is actually a good response. Kinda.
What I said that I defended was jokes, edgy jokes that Chris made.
Oh, look, dude. Play.
Uncomfortable. Okay? Now, let's actually get to the bottom of this.
Oh,
I found
no!
an old tweet of mine.
We didn't
about
even
this
have
situation.
this tweet, chat. We didn't
I
even
said,
know
well,
to
I wouldn't
show this on the stream.
Make the jokes myself. We have apparently reached the point.
I didn't know this tweet existed.
And I think that's true. I think on the internet, people have...
No, he's not a defense.
All right, where's the part where he talks
the
about
entire Twitter.
Oh, no.
They only have 2...
I don't care about the tweet. Where's the part where he talks about the actual drawing?
She's missing.
No. I don't think it's this clip. There's the clip where he talks about the drawing. Oh, it's this one. This is it.
Posted on Twitter of him involving the fact that Chris allegedly owned, like there was a picture he posted on Twitter of him owning like a piece of artwork by Shadman. And I've seen the artwork in question. I'm not going to show it on stream for obvious reasons. But the artwork looked like it depicted someone who was of adult age. It looked like
Oh, this is the part. This is what I need him to watch with me.
somebody who was very petite.
This is a man watching this who knows his career is ending before his eyes. Look at him watch the clip.
Dude, it's Shadman. It's Shadman with a drawing a little girl with braces. Why the fuck would you say this?
The artwork looked like it depicted someone who was of adult age.
It would probably be like the first adult Shadman's ever drawn. I know that's not the case, but like, it would be the first controversy where the girl was of legal age.
It looked like somebody who was very petite.
This is a man watching this who knows his career is ending before.
My issue with that was Shadman's a very controversial figure, okay? Very controversial.
Like, he knows Shadman's lore. He literally is like, I know everything Shadman does, but that's an adult right there.
They have drawn some
Is he playing Overwatch?
really fucked up shit in the past, okay? And so I will say this. I wouldn't be supporting Shadman. I don't know if he purchased that artwork or just printed it out or something like that, but I wouldn't be...
Did you see his lip just twitch?
I personally think the artwork is anything questionable. It's just the connection to the artist in question. It's like, yeah, that's...
How do you say it's nothing questionable? It has braces.
She's missing a fucking tooth, Tipster.
not be supporting that guy. Just being honest. Just being completely honest. I would not be supporting Shadman. But I don't think they're friends. If they are, that's news to me. I think. Okay, so this was my position. When did I put this up? This was my position, May 17th, 2023. Okay? I saw the art in question. I don't know if that particular piece in question is lolly, but even if it isn't, it's Shadman art. Someone we know for a fact is a lolicon. And if Chris is lying and Chris has possession of that art...
No! Go fuck yourself! Tipster, you don't understand, so I'll spell it out for you. There's no half measures. It's a fucking child. Anyone can tell you it's a child. I got 4,000 people watching. Every single one of them will tell you it's a child. You can't sit on the fence on this drama, bro. It's over. You look insane. Yeah, I agree with me, actually. Period. I think that's a pretty good take. Fucking, what is it, with the 3 dots? That's what he's trying to do. He wants to middle ground this, and there's no middle ground to be had. It doesn't, like, he's tweeting, he's just cranking it to some lolly, so you guys will be like, oh, that's obviously a joke, guys. Come on, it's just edgy comedy. Oh, he owns Lolicon. Well, we don't know if that's really an adult right there. And you just watch, like, as, instead of just giving the correct take, they cannot concede even an inch at all. They will not concede any part of the argument. And then he goes on Tommy's stream, and he's like, well, no one's defending them now. Right, but why were you defending them in February? Did it take popular narrative to take over? Did popular narrative have to come through and fix the situation? Like, is that... I'm not... Like, what's happening here, dude? I don't know. What does that mean? Fuck. Oh my god, bro. Holy shit, dude. You can't walk this back!
That's a problem. And they should rightfully be called out for it. And maybe they should address it. I know that they addressed it.
Oh, now they need to address it? Your fucking glowing response last year wasn't enough? You're walking that one back too, Tipster?
In DMs?
You fell over when you tried to walk backwards. You fell off your chair.
With Jalen, but maybe it's worth having a conversation.
Jeez, I was pissed in that one. Holy shit. Anywho, on a lighter note, we're done with that. On a lighter note, before we end this segment and move on to the next subject, that I didn't think it was going to take 2 hours to get through. Tipster apologized to me following this tweet right here. So let me just pull this up. Since we were just listening to this, let me play it again. I think when Nicholas DeOrio and I were friends, the most unhinged DM I ever sent him was asking him nicely not to tweet about a friend of mine who was getting shit on, and he basically said no, I let it go, and moved on. Meanwhile, Boblax is like, I hate Destiny. Destiny is evil. I hate Tipster as a meme. You owe me an apology. Why do you think I'm dumb and Destiny is so smart? And instead of just letting him have this one and saying this is funny and you're right, I turned around and I told him my actual issue with him. I was completely fucking forward with it, and I was pretty nice about it. The one issue I took with the most wasn't really unhinged. It's when you reached out to assure me that my friends and I were not the problem after the Is This Image Lolly video. You reached out to me and said my take was fair and balanced, unprompted. So I legit did not know there was a problem until you were on stream with Keffels, more or less blaming us. It felt like you couldn't just leave the space, you needed to turn around and kick us on the way out. Which is real. That was why I dropped my fucking thing and I just started shitting on Tipster. Because that was fucking absurd. That was bullshit. I'll pull it up right now because you've already seen it at this point and everyone knows about it. But just for context, I'll show you what he wrote me. This is like the night of the lolly stuff. And all the takes that I gave him on that given night, you can go look that up yourself, are exactly the same ones that I was giving like after that post, even today. So this was, Jesus, this is such a long time ago. Red bar, here it is. I have to take a screenshot because I'll leak my DMs from 2 years ago. Yeah, so this is why I was pissed off. And I think this is a totally valid reason to fucking shred somebody and to like not respect them at all on any personal level. This is the night of the, you can look at the thing, night of the Is This Image Lolly controversy. Saw your thread. I think you had a fair and balanced take. I appreciate the feedback. It goes without saying, but you, Augie, Boblax, and Tommy aren't the people I was particularly shitting on. Y'all are the boys. Anyway, I hope you had a dope birthday. Peace, homie. Thanks, buddy. I'm glad you don't see it as some vicious attack. I hope you're doing well. I'm actually doing really good, to be honest. I've had a lot of points, feelings like shit, and that video gave me a chance to air them all out. And it's like a weight off my shoulders. I think I really needed that. After he went public and he gave me the exact opposite fucking position, I was like, yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna fucking, that's it. Training wheels off. You're gonna get shit on the way everybody else has been shit on. And now you're gonna suck it up and you're gonna fucking deal with it. Because that is ridiculous. That is bullshit, dude. Like, it's not like I reached out to him and he unprompted messages me and tells me that we're not the issue and then changed his fucking story. So fuck that shit, dude. Yeah, 5 Nights at Lolly. But so that was my fucking problem with it. But continuing with the conversation. Here we go. I think at one point there was talks of us being responsible for suicidal thoughts. That's one that nobody ever remembers because it was never clipped. But the implication that was given is that the community and the people in it were responsible for him wanting to fucking kill himself. Just to be clear, that was the kind of stuff he was talking about on the way out. And he deleted the VOD as soon as he realized how fucking crazy that sounded. So that was another thing that was pissing me off. Though that clip was deleted and lost to time, I felt like you were warned several times about how Salvo was farming you, and you just kept jumping feet first into all the lolly discourse. I don't think you accurately reflected on how many of these outbursts were completely avoidable, and I'm not sure how much of that you expected to tank, like us to tank, when you were not listening. Anywho, I thought I'd put that into the ether in a nicer tone while we're still on a truce. And then Tipster, let's put on the Carl Jobs music, said, while I don't regret leaving the community, I do regret some of the ways that I left. I would have preferred to leave on better terms with you guys. I definitely dropped the ball in that regard, and I think that you all have every right to be upset with me about that. It's one of my biggest regrets. Despite our differences, we've had a lot of history together, and I did do a very bad job of going on my own way while maintaining some level of civility. Ultimately, you don't have to forgive me for my poor handling and departure, but I do apologize. I won't use my alcoholism or my poor mental health at the time as an excuse for my actions. I'll just own it. I fucked up and I apologized. So it's like, personally, that's enough for me, where it's like, I'm not, again, it's been 2 years. I'm not personally mad about it anymore. At this point, like, we've had a bajillion arguments and stuff like that. And to be honest, there's nothing on planet Earth. Homelander wouldn't be able to get me to apologize if I was Tipster after all the rotten shit I said about that guy. Even if Tipster is 100% correct in apologizing to me, I personally would never do that. Not in a fucking million years to somebody who talked to me the way that I talked to Tipster. So maybe some of the whole, I don't really know if I believe that take is coming from there, but I could get past it. But when I say that, I preempt that with 2 hours of me telling you that we're not opening the fucking doors, we're not restarting a friendship. But for me, that situation itself, like the whole fucking me over, giving me mixed signals and DMs, kicking me on the way out, personally, that is closed now. That feels like that's done. And I have much more issues with Tipster, but the one that started this conflict for me, I think is done. I don't really care anymore. It's been 2 years. He apologized for it. Whether he is or isn't sorry, we'll know in the future anyway. If he's not, I can do a stream and make a shitload of money laughing at him. So I have nothing to lose in accepting his apology. I like how Nick's gold standard of intimidation is always Homelander. Someone wrote that on Twitter and I stole it because it was really funny. But yeah. Reselling plushies when your first batch couldn't sell unless H3 and Keem had to fight over it. I don't know. I read that and it had nothing to do with what I was saying because I'm still so fucking mad about the plushies. Nick, you hate him. Selling plushies is your biggest hater, dude. Unironically, the plushie thing got me, bro. Maybe I'll talk about the plushie thing, but I went on a passionate rant about how embarrassing the plushie incident was for everybody. Do you share my pain? Chat, for people who heard my plushie rant, do you agree with me? Do you agree with the plushie rant? I personally think the plushie thing is ridiculous. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. I'll just say it. I think that if you can't sell the plushies, because you have to sell 250 or they refund it, by the way. 250 or they refund the fucking plushies. That's just embarrassing. Imagine having like your whole audience buy this stuff and then they have to refund their credit cards because you thought you were more popular than you actually were. And you actually can't fucking do this. Like you can't do this plushie thing. And why plushies? Why do you guys need stuffed animals of me? Realistically, what do you got? Why do you need a stuffed animal of Nick to go with your stuffed animal of Tom to go with your stuffed animal of Boblax that he couldn't even sell, by the way? Really? Let's be honest here. Is that really necessary, chat? It's a fucking stuffed animal. I get it. You're going to give me money for free because you do donations. I appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. And it's nice to get stuff. So maybe we will do merch at some point because you think of it as, I think of merch as a donation where you get something back, right? Where it's like you donate a little bit more, but you physically get something in your hand. But who's wearing YouTube t-shirts, man? Who's wearing a shirt with a funny tipster quote? None of you guys. None of you guys. You wear it in your house and nowhere else. If you get caught in public with it, people ask you what it is and you'll lie. Because it's YouTube merch. I don't wear YouTube merch in public. Why the fuck would I make you? Oh, I'm gonna make YouTube merch. It has to not look like YouTube merch because it's sad. I don't know. I don't want to sell you guys stupid crap that I don't care about. If I wouldn't wear it in public, I wouldn't want to sell it to you. People have been asking me about merch. They want me to do something with it, and I'll consider it. But it needs to be something viable. It needs to be something viable, and it needs to be something that's like wearable or ownable or something that would make sense to have in your house. Alerts are back on because we're not doing any crazy crap tonight. So yeah, I'll look into merch.
What is Bunty King to you? A person? Who is Bunty King?
A phone case? You don't want a fucking Nick DeOrio phone case? I don't know, dude. Maybe it's just me. All right, a lot of YouTubers get like, I have a big ego. Everyone knows I have a big ego.
What is Bunty King to you?
I'm not hiding that.
Who
like,
is
I definitely have a big ego,
Nicholas DeOrio.
right? But like, let's be honest here, okay? It's not that big. It's not like you're gonna have a mug of me on your fucking with your morning coffee, right?
What is Bunty King to
You're not gonna wear my face on a
Who is
shirt.
Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think it has to be something like the one who did merch correctly, and I'm gonna glaze, is Tom. I had Tom's merch drop come to my house, okay? It came in a custom Turkey Tom cardboard box with his logo on it. You pull it out, it comes with like complimentary stickers. This shit's got like a pin that came for free. The hat is not Turkey Tom branded. It's got something under the rim and the quality is good.
I don't respect you.
You look at Tom's merch, you'll have no idea that's a Turkey Tom t-shirt. It just looks like a normal shirt you'd buy at Hot Topic. That's the kind of merch that I would want to sell. Something that's like, you know what it is, but no one else does, and that's probably better, right? You know? I should go the opposite way. I should sell condoms. I should sell Nick DeOrio Slay condoms to go against his Stop Gooning merch. Is that what you guys think? Is that what you guys think the play is? But with Boblax, it's just, dude, he can't sell them. He sold like what, like 12, like 13, like 25. And then he had to have like, oh, Augie's got to shill them. Oh, Nick has to shill them because he needed to sell this fucking merchandise. And it's embarrassing that like all of us have to push him to make money because he overdid this and decided he was going to go fucking sell plushies. And then he has to like rely on two of the biggest haters and two like huge YouTubers to have a massive fucking conflict so they can even sell them. Ethan Klein has to like literally donate him an absurd amount of money, someone he hardly knows, to buy a bunch of plushies, and then he refunded them because Josh said something he didn't like, and that was during Ethan's cringe arc. And then Keem swooped in and bought like 200 of them. So now Keem's got 200 fucking Joshes in his house, sitting in barrels in his fucking garage. Are we like... Is that not embarrassing to you? If you're Josh, would you be embarrassed? Would you think this is an absolute victory? That you ended up selling more plushies after all this controversy? Because people like had to... Dude, you're a Make-A-Wish YouTuber. That's not skill. That's not notoriety. You can't sell those plushies normally. You're a Make-A-Wish YouTuber. People are doing fucking favors for you. I would be so embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for him. Bro... You don't remember this, right? Do you remember when Edwin was being a loser, all right? And Edwin and Salvo were doing all these streams or whatever, going after Tipster and farming Xylee. Do you remember this timeline? Boblax, who typically knew better than to get caught in the web of engaging with those people when they were doing this stuff and they were farming content and they were doing fake drama every single day, Boblax had to sell his plushies by a certain date. So he put himself in a position where he had to go on these streams and self-flagellate to people who fucking hate him, who are farming him for content, because if he doesn't, he won't sell the stupid toys. So he has to go on there and let them make fun of him. So he has the opportunity to buy one. So the people actually buy them, right? Edwin and Salvo kissed on stream, and Boblax thanked them for it because it helped sell like another 20
What is Bunty King
plushies.
to you? A person? Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
Like, that's just so fucking cringe. So he came out, I guess, obviously, he did his response stream. He addressed me a lot. All of it was lies. Go watch the Augie VOD. We literally sat there and got frustrated at like 2 o'clock in the morning because there were so many lies. There were so many lies, chat, that it didn't even make sense to like, it doesn't, I'm not going to go back and watch it. We couldn't even watch the whole fucking thing. But he announced he was doing another fucking. So yeah, Boblax announced he was going to do another plushie at the, like, and again, the first time he did it was at like the zenith point of his popularity, biggest time of Boblax's career, right? This guy's literally out here making like the most money he was making on YouTube ever. He's uploading regularly. It's not the same Boblax who's like a little deranged animal right now, right? And he couldn't sell them then, so I don't know why he'd be able to sell them now. It's embarrassing that he thought he'd come back and just sell 250 plushies again. It's embarrassing that he wants to start like a plushie factory and start distributing them himself. It's just gross. It's disgusting. It's pathetic behavior. It's super unself-aware. Like, again, if this was me, I would be mortified at the concept of even doing something that dumb, but yeah, I don't know. Anywho, this week, I think Aiko is supposed to be doing her stream, where I kind of want to put this out here into the ether before this even explodes. Part of me thinks I should just start dropping stuff now, but part of me thinks that, like, it's not really worth it. We could just wait and see how it goes. Because, I don't know. Let me see if I could find this. I need you to hear this quote that was sent to me. It's weird. It is a weird fucking quote. Guys, you thought the Boblax drama was the end of the interpersonal arc for, like, a month? I don't think it is.
Next week.
Oh, next week, we're probably doing, about what happened last year regarding Edwin and Nick. So, yeah.
Nick DeOrio or?
Yeah, Nick DeOrio.
Okay.
Cucking me.
What? Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. What?
Yeah, Nick DeOrio.
Okay.
Cucking me.
That is a strategic pause. What?
Nick DeOrio.
Okay.
Cucking me. And that's why I ultimately never made like an official presentation of what I found with Edwin and the minors. So,
what?
Yep. So we'll.
Oh, dude. I have to be honest. I don't have the capacity to deal with another stupid person this soon. Like another fucking idiot, dude. Holy shit.
I found with Edwin and the minors. So, yep. So we'll do that.
That's a shame. It's about time that lazy, pencil-wristed bastard did some mining.
Yeah. True. Okay.
Okay.
Someone's like 2x speed. We're watching a 3-second clip. This is the end of the clip.
Okay. I think that's enough for today, right?
So that's it. So she says, and I cucked her last year, and I made it so she couldn't release her pedo allegations against Edwin. That's just insane. Dude, can somebody in this community other than me just get a backbone? Please. I don't even know if she's in this community. I don't know where she's from. I don't know where the fuck she comes off. But like, bro, I got into a fight with you and you couldn't like expose Edwin for being like, what? Why? What is happening, dude? This is the one who gave like allegations to Colton, who ran them for like no reason, and it just wasn't big. Like, I still don't even know what the deal is with that. Okay, I'm waiting for like things to be published. All I said is I am not going to be the vessel for your research. You need to publish it under your name. If you go back and look at the stuff, that's all I said. So if you have information that you want to publish, I'll even direct people to your stream so they can see it. You need to publish it. Bro, that is not me shutting anything down. That is me not getting involved and becoming your vessel for your allegations and your research. I'm not spending the time to vet your allegations. I don't do that. I'm never going to. It's really weird. It's this whole thing is super weird. The other day I found out, I guess she got mad that I platformed Edwin at all, because Edwin came on and debated with Keemstar. And we had a chat before that and stuff. And then Keem like pressed him on the Babs stuff, which made the Babs thing come back up in the conversation. But let's be honest, the Babs stuff came up in the conversation because her nudes got leaked or something in a community scam where some guy was buying up all the commentary e-girls nudes and playing Who's That Pokemon with their tits in general chat. If you watch the stream, you know what I'm talking about. That's why Babs was coming up in these conversations, because like her, Olivia, a bunch of these YouTubers got caught because they were accepting payment to send their nudes to some weird gooner on Discord. That's why Babs came up. And I don't think she had a problem with that either. In fact, I spoke to her, right? Because Aiko brings this whole thing up and starts talking about how... like last year, I guess she's like they've used her against her. I don't know what's happening. As far as I know, she just wants everyone to stop talking about that stuff. And that's what I thought that they were working together, that I'd somehow upset Babs, and that's why this was happening, because Aiko's talking about some leaked Edwin call that never got released or whatever. That supposedly Edwin was going to release and he ultimately didn't, that I stole from him when we were in a VC chat or whatever. And I asked her if she wanted it, and she said she doesn't want it released. Babs, not Aiko, Babs. So Edwin doesn't want to release it. Babs doesn't want it released. I shouldn't even have it. But Aiko, who, as far as I know, has never heard this call, demands it's released. This is like the opposite of the Twitter thing, right? Where it's like, I consent, no, I don't. It's like, I don't consent, well, I do. Which is weird. It's odd. So, again, like, I don't want to have to go scorched earth, like, 3 times in the past couple weeks. But, like, you guys will know exactly what I was pissed off about. Depending on how this conversation goes tomorrow, I guess. Depending on if it's worth a response from me. I just wanted to update everybody where this is, because supposedly there's some huge exposed stream tomorrow from like this schizo woman. So I'm just yeah, shout out. If you want to find out what apparently I've been doing, you can find out on this girl's stream. I'm sure all of it will be valid.